He's trying to get in my ass! Get him out!
You'll teach me to outrun cancer.
Apologizing all the time? And why the f*** do you want me to...
Commercial, Roger, go to commercial.
You're wearing a cape.
There's never been a superhero show quite like The Boys on Amazon Prime. Based off of the original comic book series, since its premiere in the summer of 2019, it has since taken audiences by storm. The show has since reached a level of popularity and influence that includes direct and unapologetic takes on the current political climate in the US, as well as the ever-grinding machine of capitalism that runs it, even though it has global audiences with over 60% being outside of the US. Their most recent season 4 garnered record-breaking viewership with over 55 million viewers within the first month. And now, with another season in the chamber for April of 2026, audiences just can't wait for more. Me included. Since the show's start, we've followed the narratives of two opposing groups with opposite intentions. On one hand, the shallow, tyrannical, psychopathic soup leaders reigning at Vought International, a corporation that systematically reduces heroes into products. And then again, on the other side, the ragtag group of vigilante rebels, fondly nicknamed the Boys, who are hell-bent on taking them all down. Both sides feature a set of main characters that are so thoughtfully crafted in their psychology and dimension. A really fantastic cast of dynamic characters. By far the most discussed out of the bunch is Homelander, the unpredictable, terrifying antagonist and leader of the Seven at Vought International, played by the amazing Anthony Starr. This has led to endless discussion online about breaking down this man-baby superhero freak's psyche. This has extended to nearly every other main character on the show being put under a microscope in the online discussion. But there's one character in particular that I think has been grossly neglected in this online recognition. A character whose influence on the show extends so deeply that just her mere appearance on the show serves as a storytelling device that is essential for establishing the canonical timeline. Someone who is in such a unique position within the plot that she alone may hold the key to truly taking down Vought International from the inside. A character who very well may be the true hero of the show, The Boys. No, it's not Starlight. No, it's not Maeve, as much as I wish it was. It's Ashley fucking Barrett.
Alright, I don't know where the fucking deer is, so let's just start this fucking meeting.
Justice? Yeah.
Yeah, stand over him and say this is lit.
Specifically figuring out how to cover up your bullshit.
What you're doing is inside my fucking asshole, you piece of shit. Everyone get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Fuck you! Get out!
Ashley Barrett, the ruthless, profane, and perverse corporate executive at the heart of Vought, who's always finding herself cleaning up after the soups that she works under. She is anxiety weaponized into ambition with a frantic, hostile approach to all those around her. She guarantees results through sheer intimidation and dedication. Her control, however, over these relentless situations that she's expected to patch up is brittle, with her always being left in a state of perpetual panic. She represents in the show the ruthless corporate machine that chews up authenticity and spits out a product. Her moral compass bends with the company's expectations to her, which she justifies with corporate complicity in protecting Vought's image for PR. But people are no more than liabilities on a spreadsheet to her, as she is a constant whirlwind of workplace apathy, leading her to moral ignorance. She's introduced along with all the other main characters in the very, very first episode. She's here since day one, okay? And 4 seasons later, she remains to be one of the very few human executives to have survived at Vought 4 seasons later. It's a character who stands in plain sight, yet as a character, serves single-handedly as a crucial storytelling device that up till now hasn't been up for much discussion. What if I told you that Ashley Barrett was the most important character in the show The Boys? That its entire storytelling structure, which contains countless character points of view stretched between 2 entirely different shows, all hinge on the same timeline landmark, that is Ashley Barrett. As the true sole human witness to all of Vought's atrocities and holder of all of their secrets, we see her lurking behind every corner at Vought, to the point where she is one of the only characters that we see consistently speaking to almost every character and helps string it all together in one timeline. When we see Starlight's introduction into the Vought Empire in the very beginning, Ashley is there. When we see Homelander's terrifying de-evolution and then his tentative building of a relationship with his son Ryan, she's there. When we see all of Maeve's struggles, she turns from her stone-cold agent into an eventual true ally. She's one of the very few to know about Maeve's imprisonment and eventually arranges her escape, being eventually the only person to know about this. When Huey requests his meeting with A-Train for a half-ass apology to plant the bug, from the very, very beginning, since ground zero, Ashley is right there. On top of this, besides Homelander and Victoria Newman's brief cameos, Ashley Barrett was the only main character from The Boys to make repeated appearances on the spin-off show Gen V, therefore being the main tool to link the 2 timelines. She bears witness to damn near everything that happens at Vought, and she doesn't need X-ray vision. She's seen breathing down the neck of every soup at Vought who needs to hit their mark. She's constantly wrangling these shallow, self-centered superhero freaks to sit and stay and perform the way that they're supposed to for Vought. They're more like dolls for Vought to pose, as well as their schedules being hyper-managed and hollow of any true hero work on their part, meaning that as their caretaker, she is a consistent speaking relationship with almost every character, especially on the Vought side. She is a wealth of intel, a mortal walking amongst gods, unnoticed and underappreciated, but always doing whatever it takes to survive where others fail. If you ask yourself why it is that Ashley has made it this far, it's because no matter what was happening at Vought, Ashley got shit done. Ashley survived from raw competency and being damn good at her job. Homelander, unarguably one of the most unhinged threats at Vought, who disposes of people left and right around him, hasn't killed Ashley 4 seasons in because she proves to be just too damn useful for him to just dispose of. Imagine being that good at your job. Ashley's cutthroat professionalism is expressed through her professional formal wardrobe, which evolves over the course of the seasons. As she levels up in her position at Vought, so does her appearance to reflect her gaining confidence and status. Ashley uses her wardrobe as a weapon that incorporates her own loud sense of style and appear composed despite whatever clusterfuck is going on around her. Ashley relies on outward appearances to maintain control, constructing an image of Vaught's executives being clean-cut, professional, and cutting-edge in fashion trends, maintaining this perfect presentation. It's all an act, of course, as Ashley eventually begins to spiral behind the scenes as she becomes more and more exposed to what Vought is truly capable of. But more than that, Ashley's wardrobe has been sharpened into a storytelling device through methodical attention to detail and deliberate choices in color palette and accessories. By the end of this video, I will prove to you that Ashley's wardrobe is potentially one of the most well thought out parts of the entire costuming department, if not the entire show of The Boys.
I got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power poison.
I'm Maeve the Human, and welcome to my channel, where I like to delve into incredibly niche topics that I like to fix on specifically to fuel my mania, and now I feel like dumping it on the internet. You can find me at Maeve the Human, basically on everything. All my links are below, you hooligans. Content warning, spoilers for the show The Boys. It's about to premiere season 5 in April. Also, swearing, probably, most likely. If I'm going to pay proper tribute to this goddess, I'm going to have to be a little bit profane in her tribute. As we progress through examples of her fits throughout the show, we will delve into how Ashley's outfits accurately reflect the plot as it happens in real time alongside her. But there's more. Oh yes, there is, okay? There's one important truth that we have yet to acknowledge. Ashley Barrett is the only character on The Boys who changes their outfit every single day. This is backed up by logic, as her professional, highly visible role as a public representative at Vought means that she has the expectation to dress to impress. It would be ludicrous in her mind to be seen in the same outfit 2 days in a row, so that means that Ashley Barrett and her fashion serves as a canonical timeline landmark based on the guarantee that she changes her outfit at least once a day. With such a chaotic, sprawling show of characters, it can be hard to track so many plot lines simultaneously into one established timeline. This becomes even more difficult when you consider that almost every main character on The Boys doesn't really change their visual appearance much. All the supes are seen, of course, in their assigned super suits, depending on how dependent they are on their superhero role. Homelander, The Deep, A-Train, Maeve, they're all seen almost the entire show in their main outfit. On the other side, The Boys, while they are normal people and they do change their outfits, they don't with the same frequency, or assumedly so, with their high-stakes lifestyle. And on top of that, they don't really change their visual appearance that much. Butcher, for instance, is always seen in the exact same long, like, black leather coat. Huey is always seen in some Star Trek t-shirt bullshit, you know. MM's got like a graphic tee. None of them really have super established changing looks that are unmistakable to the audience. But Ashley is different. Ashley is dependable. She's the only main character in the show who changes her outfit in an obvious way on a strictly daily basis. Ashley, being the main character that she is, appears in nearly every single episode of The Boys. And with this logic, that means that if she's seen in the beginning of the episode wearing a specific look, and at the end of the episode she's still wearing that look, that means that the entire events of the episode that we watched occurred in a single day. Oppositely, she can also be a tell for multiple days passing, as within one episode she could change her outfit multiple times to indicate more days passing. Therefore, Ashley's wardrobe consists of deliberate choices that contribute to the plot. The same can't be said for basically any other character. Behind the curtain, of course, there is true genius at work. The real heroes here are the costuming department at The Boys. Laura Jean Shannon leads the specialty costuming team as well as is associate producer of the show. She is the in real life Edna Mode. This woman has pranced across Hollywood, just leaving iconic supersuits wherever she goes. Some include Iron Man, Titans, Doom Patrol, Black Lightning, as well as Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, and Elf. This woman has definitely carved a place for herself in the Hollywood industry as a frontman for cinematic supersuit design. She oversaw the suit design for not only The Boys, but also Gen V, leading to several iconic looks for these superhero characters that allude not only to their personality, but their powers alike. As for Ashley, it's uncertain if she really played a hand into the design of her wardrobe or if it was like a collaborative team effort. Other associating costume directors on the team include main collaborator Carrie Grace, as well as costume wardrobe department member Melissa Karsh, who I personally suspect did have a hand in Ashley's wardrobe choices. The character of Ashley Barrett is played by the Colby Minifie, who was only in a few minor roles, as in like Marvelous Miss Maisel, Fear the Walking Dead, but eventually she was casted as the eventual CEO of Vought International. Her emotions are as loud as her fashion sense, and her language as colorful as her wardrobe.
Fucking amateur. The next report you're gonna be doing is inside my fucking asshole, you piece of shit.
Colby really fulfills the role masterfully, being a very expressive individual in her facial expressions and her explosive delivery of dialogue.
Is he wearing me fucking wardrobe so I can fucking choke them out?
Like Ashley, Colby wears her feelings externally, which help really portray the character of Ashley. The word subtle is not really in her vocabulary. She bulldozes through problems by demanding results by those around her and using her intimidating nature and power at Vought to get the job done no matter what. Colby can't help but dominate every scene that she's in, both figuratively and literally. Before we begin to unpack the strange and gag-worthy evolution of Ashley's wardrobe, we should delve first into the staple pieces that we see throughout all of her looks from day one. Ashley has fiery red hair, maintained minutely into a bob, complete with the iconic bangs. Her hair length also indicates a progress of time as well as her character. By the end of season 4, it's the longest we've ever seen it. Jewelry is a must for Ashley. Her style pertains towards statement necklaces and large flashy earrings, which evolve with her promotions upwards in the company ladder. Her jewelry gets flashier and more powerful the more aura that she absorbs, the more confident she gets, and she specifically wears big flashy earrings when she feels comfortable. We see statement jewelry from Ashley from the very beginning, which shows her enthusiasm for accessories, a look that turns heads. She doesn't mind being in the center of attention, and as so for Ashley's style, it's less so elegant and more so gaudy and fashionably uniform. We see a few fashion favorite trends from her over time, including a palette of bold, eye-catching colors, various animal prints, and an endless amount of well-fitted pantsuits. She's also rarely seen without heels, minimal makeup, and a focus instead on overstated jewelry to compensate the look. She also tends to lean more towards slacks and pants and is more selective about when she chooses to wear skirts or dresses. It seems her personality of dominance and combativeness towards her coworkers reflect her priorities in efficiency and belonging in a male-dominated world. Ashley doesn't need to resort to seduction in order to get shit done, perhaps like Stillwell, for instance. She achieves it through brute force and demand. Her wardrobe reflects this unapologetic attitude. But without further ado, we'll now start at square one as we delve into the endless realm that is Ashley Barrett's wardrobe. She begins humbly, as we're introduced to her in the very first episode, as the director of talent relations, kind of like a glorified babysitter almost for these soups in the Seven, and like organizing their schedules. But through not only just exceptional competency at her job, but also the methodical elimination of all of the human executives above her, she climbs the corporate ladder season after season until she finds herself at the seat of CEO of Vought International, remaining to be one of the very last mortal human beings to be present at Vought's innermost circle. As humble as the beginnings may be in perspective, it is still a great position of much prestige, and she does dress accordingly. Her outfits in the first season are mainly business casual to business formal, with a limited color scheme of monochrome, with pops of color, mainly red, to complement her hair. What's black, white, and red all over? Ashley Barrett, Season 1. In the very, very first episode, we see Starlight arrive with her mother at the annual shareholders meeting at Vought, and she is greeted by Ashley Barrett, along with the audience meeting her. On the red carpet, she is there to lead Starlight inside. She has organized this whole thing, and she is personally the reason why Starlight was selected. She's like the talent manager, right? So she had final say. That's a lot of power over Starlight's position. Ashley is wearing a very practical dark navy two-piece business skirt and jacket, as well as a black undershirt. We see her inclination for statement jewelry right off the bat, as she has this sort of reflective fanned bronze statement necklace on. Her bangs are short, solid, mean business, and kind of sit up high up on her forehead, which sort of alludes to her youthful and potentially naive nature. She's a greenie. She's just getting started. She kind of looks a little like Beth from the child flashback in Queen's Gambit, a little bit. Later on in the episode, at the meeting that Huey demanded with A-Train to receive an apology for slaughtering his ex-girlfriend Robin in a little run, she's again wearing a sensible black blazer to stabilize the outfit with black and white vertical striped pants, this time with a red undershirt. This becomes rather signature for her. It complements her hair. So her shoes are unconfirmed, but I think they're orange heels. It's hard to say. She's rarely not seen in heels of some kind. If she's not wearing heels, it's for a purpose. She's also wearing a long gold chain to attribute to her flair for wearing jewelry. In the next episode, we see her again doing damage control for A-Train's disastrous live stream in Stillwell's office. This time she's wearing a red blazer with a black undershirt and cute black and white checkered pants. She also has her signature statement necklace, a long chain with these large chunky beads on them. We can't see clearly her shoes, but I believe they're pale colored heels. So I love this look on her. I think this is my favorite look of the season on her. The red just like really pops her hair, and she looks very collected and fashionable, yet willing to stand out from the very beginning. She's quickly dismissed by Stillwell, sort of implying about her underling status at this point. She's still a runner man, a mole man for Vought. Not much weight to her position. We don't see Ashley again until the end of the episode, when she comes storming into the bathroom, swearing up a storm at Starlight, who then saved a woman in her everyday clothes and was recorded, therefore compromising her secret identity. This is perhaps the most telling outfit that we ever see on Ashley that's a true window into how she's feeling. So not only for the entire season, but the show, this is a very telling look for her. She is wearing a snakeskin print blazer, and underneath it, a high collar, semi-transparent white blouse with black polka dots. Now, there's so much to unpack with this look in actuality. Ashley is under fire right now by management and being blamed for Starlight's mistake. She's wearing a snake-skinned blazer to reflect her subconscious desire to disappear and avoid attention from her superiors. Her undershirt is very sheer, almost completely see-through. We can see what kind of bra she's wearing underneath. This shows her vulnerability at this moment and the fact that maybe we can see her coming apart more than usual. The high collar also adds a sort of choked quality to her. She's under fire, she's under pressure, and she's being choked at the moment. It doesn't seem to be layered properly, almost like she threw herself together. She's not wearing any jewelry. Ladies and audience, please listen, okay? Because the fact that she's not wearing jewelry in this sequence says so much. This is maybe one of the only times that we don't see her with jewelry. Whenever we see her without jewelry, it's because she's at a diminished state of crisis. Whenever Ashley is feeling herself or feeling confident, her earrings grow in flashiness, almost like that's how she truly expresses herself. In a blink it or miss it still shot, we can see that she is not wearing heels, but in fact, plain pale flats. Now, all of this together confirms that she woke up with a start. She was startled awake and had to throw something on. She's in a state of crisis. They probably called her and she rushed over as soon as she could. So the fact that none of it really matches, it's so not cohesive and doesn't seem to have any sort of presentation to it. It says so much. And I do think that the blazer being snakeskin and the see-through shirt, I really do think it's deliberate. It really adds together a look of wanting to disappear. She wants to be invisible right now because she's in a lot of trouble. She is in crisis management mode, now flailing in the water, expected to clean up after Starlight's mistake. Sorry, y'all, I had to repin my wig because it was sliding back without my noticing, and I was looking like the witch from Weapons. What wig?
What wig?
Before leaving Starlight in the bathroom, Ashley told her to meet her in Stillwell's office in 10 minutes. And then flash forward to episode 3, she opens the door to welcome in Starlight into Stillwell's office, and she's wearing the exact same outfit to demonstrate that only minutes have passed between these two appearances between 2 episodes. This is a prime example of her being a tool to grasp timeline in the show. During the meeting, we learn that Starlight is off the hook because the girl that she helped save came forward online and defended her. So with this change of circumstance also comes a harsh change with Ashley. We see as she switches gears in the face of success, now offering Starlight praise and encouragement, showcasing Ashley's manic emotions back to back. This is a common occurrence for her. Later on in the episode, we see her yet again at A-Train's racing event, sort of supervising the soups, signing autographs, and specifically the debut of Starlight's new, slutty design supersuit. Ashley is wearing black form-fitting pants with a blue and white checkered jacket and a simple tan undershirt. She's restored her confidence with the jewelry, now that the crisis has been averted, with a chunky geode bead sort of necklace. We can also see that she's wearing flats, presumably because she knew she'd be on her feet all day. One of the very, very few times we see her in flats. Once again, I reiterate the point that she's not seen in flats unless there's a reason, which, just the fine detail of that is mind-blowing, and how it's upkept for the entirety of 4 seasons. In episode 5, we see Ashley fairly briefly as she greets Starlight and her mother at this VOT-sponsored Christian event. Once again, we see her partiality to animal print as Ashley is wearing a full-on cheetah print blazer with a black undershirt and black form-fitting pants. It's presumed that she's also once again wearing flats, as this is an outdoor event in which she's on her feet for. For her signature statement necklace, it's this gold shiny arched pendant to add a little bit of glimmer to the accessory. And I think this is just a classic Ashley look all the way. Has all the essential pieces. So in that episode, Starlight kind of goes all truth mode on stage during her speech as she condemns the church church for its like hypocrisy and homophobia, very justifiably, but therefore completely fucking over Ashley. Now she's toast, dude, because she's your agent. She's the one who booked this event for you, and you just threw it back in her face. So we see the results of this in the next episode. Ashley approaches Starlight out in the hall, coming out of Stillwell's office, where she found out that she has been fired.
Fired. But I...
Ashley is wearing a red blazer with a cute monochrome Peter Pan collar undershirt with a sort of splatter pattern. She's also wearing black high-waisted pants and a long chainmail pendant necklace. Red accentuates her rage and crisis for being the one to take the fall and getting fired for scouting Starlight and booking the expo, which Starlight bombed with her speech. Without any pleasantry, she launches into a little tirade to Starlight's face, telling her about how when you're in a sorority and you take care of a pledge and mentor her because she seems sweet and naive, but then when she's active, she then stabs you in the back, gets you kicked out of the house. This alludes to a history of sorority life for Ashley, which I definitely see. She goes on to express how she was confident that Starlight wouldn't fuck up this event because she's been supporting it since she was a child. But, you know, I guess she then proved Ashley wrong. She concludes with a resolute, "At least I don't have to kiss your ass anymore," before turning and marching off without a word, thus exiting her role at Vought International. Or at least temporarily. That means for the remainder of Season 1, Episodes 7 and 8, Ashley is not seen. She's off God knows where, doing whatever she's doing to process this transitional period during her career. Little does she know, an entirely different fortune awaits for her back at Vought, with an unexpected promotion that will turn her from wronged firee to elevated executive by the start of Season 2. With the end of Season 1, we see Homelander fire Stillwell by lasering her brains out, but not before openly admitting that he has a personal attachment to her, let alone a weird mommy kink, and that attachment is a threat to his vulnerability. So he gets rid of that vulnerability. So this leaves a gaping hole in the employment hierarchy at Vought. She was the senior vice president of hero management, and Homelander really needs to, clean up his tracks pretty quickly. Luckily, he has the perfect person in mind already. Who else but probably the only person he could think of, Ashley Barrett, who is then offered a surprise crazy promotion. In the face of being fired, after a couple of weeks, her impromptu vacation is then cut off and she heads back to, her new office. Damn! I wouldn't even know what to think if I were her. With this newly offered role, we see her level up her wardrobe to be far more unapologetic and fitting for the superiority of her newfound station. She becomes more experimental in her style, becoming more comfortable in the limelight. So we're just gonna come in swinging with Season 2, okay? Because so much goes down for Ashley's character. In the beginning of Season 2, in the very first episode, Homelander is reminiscing in Stillwell's old office after literally murdering her just to, spite Butcher. He's gulping down some of the very last drops of her titty milk when Ashley barges in, interrupts, and witnesses this. She very tactfully plays this off, and we are then come to find out that she is now Senior Vice President of Hero Management, a quick and dirty replacement for Stillwell that Homelander orchestrated to cover his tracks. But she doesn't know this. In her mind, she's finally being recognized for all of the soul-crushing hard work that she does for this job, single-handedly, just because she wants to succeed. For her first day back at Vought and in her new role, Ashley has selected a matching jacket and suit piece set that's a very, very light teal, almost white, and like a light blue and white striped undershirt. All pale tones, as well as like bright yellow heels, almost like she's drawing attention to the fact that she's wearing heels. Her jewelry game is also so back, now expanded to earrings with simple gold drops to start. A very put together look with pale, serene tones that reflect her mindset in this moment. She's like on cloud 9. In her mind, she feels like she's been like handed by angels a promotion that she feels to her core that she deserves. And she truly does. She does nothing but bend over backwards and sacrifice basically her entire life to her job at Vought, all the while remaining ignorant of the real reason for her receiving this role because of Stillwell's retirement. At this point in time, Ashley is truly ignorant to the horror of who Homelander truly is. She has the knowledge of her previous lackey position, just like all the other employees at Vought. She is akin to the masses of audience who believe this carefully crafted image of him being a patriotic savior. She, too, also believes this narrative. She's enthusiastic and genuinely warm towards Homelander, in the fact that she has a candidate for the 7 already lined up for him to review. And she's so genuine in this moment. She just wants to do, like, a good job on her first day, and she's confident in this approach. And Homelander has the ever-practiced smile fixated, but we as the audience know him better and know that this smile is a ticking time bomb. But Ashley doesn't realize this and leads him out to the training floor. Unaware of the shark in the water, Ashley introduces Homelander to the new candidate, Blind Spot, who is in the middle of showcasing his skills. He's a lot like Daredevil. He's completely blind and uses his echo hearing bat shit to, see and to fight. On a marketing level, Ashley is correct in this approach. Inclusivity and representation is always very receptive for viewership. At this point, her job still has the semblance of normalcy. Conducted through paperwork, critiques are met with a metaphorical slap on the wrist, or at the very worst, being fired, which she's already experienced. So Ashley thinks that she's already gone through the worst that can happen to her. He then blindsides Blind Spot by striking him precisely in both ears, thus destroying his super-called hearing, and basically ripping him of all autonomy and turning him into Helen Keller within an instant. Homelander did this out of rage because his narcissism was triggered by the idea of a differently abled, disabled, weak excuse of a soup even being in the same realm of comparison to him. He really wanted to put them both in their place because his ego was threatened in this moment. This moment is a extremely crucial turning point in Ashley's character. This is an extremely violent and traumatic moment for Ashley, which leaves her literally in a state of shock. Her entire worldview has now been turned on its axis. There are new stakes to her position that she was not previously aware of. She thought that the worst thing that could happen to a person at this job is to be dismissed through being fired. But now Ashley has been exposed to the heart of true violence that lies within Vought, and the repercussions of failure will be met with violence. It also happens in a flash, in such an unexpected moment's notice, that it teaches Ashley that it could happen whenever, at a moment's notice. If she fails at this, she will clearly end up just like this superhero candidate, or more likely dead. And she is now processing this all at once in this moment. This turning point for Ashley's character truly separates her from the plucky, earnest, slightly manic Ashley that was worked up at her job just for the sake of wanting to do a good job. There was no threat of violence that was making her work that hard. She just genuinely wanted to succeed in her role. he shows Ashley his true colors. He is nothing more than a psycho man baby with unpredictable whims and a very provocable narcissism. Ashley came out full swing on her first day to make a decision of power and influence over the Seven. She made this decision based off of the character persona of Homelander that she was previously acquainted with, thinking that he would respond positively to a new member of the team that diversifies. Homelander then cripples this man carelessly, thoughtlessly, only to demonstrate to Ashley that her attempt of influence over the Seven is unacceptable. Unlike the sexual prowess and the mommy complex of Stillwell that kept Homelander in check, Ashley was raised to this position by Homelander, because in previous times she has proven to be an excellent leg man to carry out all of his commands, and nothing more. He then gives her, in this moment, a true reality check that she is in no way in charge. Ashley's attempt to influence the Seven, though earnest and with very good intention, was met with swift and brutal retaliation from Homelander, and made it very clear to Ashley that she is completely disposable to him. In the moments after this incident, Ashley seems genuinely, clinically shell-shocked, not even being able to hear Homelander after a few seconds, until he says one of the most dominating lines of the entire series.
Ashley! Look at me.
Ashley quickly and quietly agrees and submits to this new, terrifying Homelander that she now understands has always been there. Ashley Season 1 was fighting for her job, while Ashley Season 2 is now fighting for her life. Do you have any comments? Do you have anything to say to the audience about Ashley's wardrobe? This is my stage manager. He edits all my videos. Later in the same episode, during a meeting to determine slogans for Vought, we see Ashley again in what appears at first to be the same outfit, but we see it is incrementally different. It is now a actual white pantsuit, jacket and pants, with a pale blue and black spotted undershirt. She has a gold watch on, but no other jewelry, showing her diminished mental state perhaps, and she is still maintaining this like full fit superiority aristocrat look, you know? Perhaps the pale tone suits are just a front to give an air of superiority and need to appear composed even though everything's falling apart around her. I also have an opinion that she went shopping with that mindset, bought a couple pale, like, based outfits, and she was like, well, shit, I'm gonna wear them, even if I'm not feeling it. So this change of outfit implies that it's a different day than the blind spot incident, and later on in the same episode, again, we see her in this fit, now on a film set in which Stormfront sort of, like, saunters on and sort of says, hey, I'm on the Seven now. Ashley is petrified in this moment because Homelander gives her a look. This is absolutely shattering to Ashley, as she thinks that if she doesn't offer an explanation, she will be killed on the spot. This level of stress, you know, doesn't really affect her in any certain way or anything. Turns out it's actually not Ashley's fault, thank God, but actually the only person that's still left above her position, Stan Edgar, the CEO of Vought. Thankfully, Homelander then shifts his anger from Ashley to Stan, the true culprit. It doesn't have anything to do with her. Leave her alone! Like, look at her. She looks like she's about to break down in tears. Oh my god. I know I'm mortal, but I would fight them! Season 2, Episode 2. So, Ashley has now found herself in a very high-stakes situation. Her worldview has been shaken, and now she is still expected to perform as though nothing is amiss. It's literally sink or swim for her. So what does Ashley do? Default to what she does best. Her fucking job. We see Ashley just delve headfirst into the action, where a whirlwind of managing Vought is familiar and comfortable to her. She knows how to get shit done, and by God, she's gonna continue to get shit done. Ashley is now corralling all of the female supes of the 7 who are being featured on this, like, girls get it done campaign, which is very superficial and stupid. She's expected to lead this female trio of female supes by cracking down on this full schedule for the rest of the day. She's settled back into her old stride, which is like turning to hyper managing others in order for like an outlet for control in her own life. This look in particular is one of my all-time favorites on Ashley. It complements her beautifully. She has shed the untouchable pale color schemes and now defaulted back to the bold colors in which she truly uses to express herself. She's wearing a bright orange pantsuit that complements her orange hair beautifully. Underneath is a high Peter Pan collared undershirt of navy blue with a pattern of zebras. I don't think this is an accident. I do think that they chose the zebras because in this episode, Ashley truly does feel like prey, and she's sort of like projecting this. The darker blue contrasts with the orange, just like so nicely, and she's also wearing a very small like gold hoops and a charm bracelet. So the return of the jewelry also like really sort of embellishes this as an Ashley look, you know? Next episode 3, now we find Ashley at a board meeting about some like potential stupid movie script. Ashley is wearing a simple black pantsuit and yet again another signature Peter Pan collar undershirt, this time with a pale pink with like a rose sort of pattern. She has a gold watch on and pale red heels with simple gold earrings, just like altogether a very put together look for her. But in the middle of the pitch, Ashley then excuses herself as she runs out of the room in a panic because of news that she has now become suddenly aware of. She then confronts Stan Edgar about what Homelander will think, and Edgar just sort of like, who cares what he thinks, which just continues to stress the poor woman out. Ashley is now mediating between an iron, no-nonsense boss, aka Gus Fring, and a crazy, unhinged, man-baby killing machine. Okay, a rock and a hard place is an understatement. The stress of all of this is now beginning to have an evident effect on Ashley. As we now timestamp it, people, season 2, episode 3, we see Ashley fiddle, like sort of like nervously play with her hair for the first time. Now, this is a nervous tic that will eventually fester, but we'll get into that later. This episode is the span of one singular hectic day, as we see Ashley in the same outfit for the entirety of the episode, sort of shadowing Stan Edgar as he does damage control. In the next episode, we see Ashley in her new office, Stillwell's old office, that we see that she has now reconstructed it to her preferences. And honestly, not bad, Ashley. I like what you've done with the place. We see that she is wearing a black blazer with this like pink pleated undershirt, which I love. When we see the back, we see that there is a giant pink bow that drapes down her back. Oh my, I would love that shirt in real life. Oh my god. But then when she stands, we see that she's wearing orange flower patterned pants with like this double white stripe down the leg. It gives the like sense of really ugly track pants. Like if I could burn them, I would. Also, I don't love the black on the pink in this look. In the quote of Doctor Who, the black looks boring and the pink looks ugly. That's not the quote.
Not sure about the vest. What about a little bit of color to lift it?
Absolutely not. Never wear black with color. It makes the color look cheap and the black look boring.
She's also seen to be wearing pale colored heels. Now, the only reason that this outfit works is because the flower pattern complements the pink on top, making it look almost like a romper, even with like this black shroud over it. In fact, actually, I'm gonna say it. This is my least favorite outfit on Ashley. I really do do hate those pants. In this scene, she has a meeting with A-Train in which she, as gently as possible, fires him. And A-Train is understandably outraged by this, even though Ashley tries to console him, like, be kind about it. A-Train then disparages her and puts her down, mentioning how she used to get him coffee. Now, this is... yuck. A-Train's character arc is something to be studied. It's really crazy. But her elevation of status over him is insulting to A-Train's ego, and his superiority complex really shows through in this moment. Why don't you get your own coffee, A-Train? Next episode, keep plowing on. We've got Ashley, like, pulling up on a golf cart. Like, she is really putting the pedal to the metal. So she comes up on a film set. We see that she's wearing these bright orange slacks, pale heels, a black blazer, and this navy chain patterned Peter Pan collar undershirt. Per staple. She's also wearing simple gold earrings and like a lot of rings. I don't know if we see rings on her that often, but it's notable here. Later in the same episode, but a different day because Ashley's seen in a different outfit, we see her on a film set in a chair eating a salad for lunch while script writers break down a new script to Maeve. Love her. She's even multitasking while she eats. You know, it really shows that she never rests, truly. She's seen wearing orange slacks with a really warm-toned striped shirt that I love personally. I would wear it. And also a full-fledged jewelry set with simple gold chain bracelet, a long diamond-chained pendant necklace, and simple gold hoops. Later on in the episode, we see Ashley on the set consoling A-Train about getting fired by recounting the lore about what she did after she got fired in the last season. Now, this is delicious information for me, okay? Because I want to know what she get up to. This is one of the first glimpses that we get into Ashley's personal life, which, you know, sort of unfolds a few things, mostly her hedonistic, seemingly passion for sex. It seems like she's a nymphomaniac and she's like into some freak shit. We'll come to find out more about that, but this is just the very first glimpse that we have of that. Later on in the same episode, we then see Ashley watch on the feed as Homelander shows up to a protest against him that she specifically told him not to go to. By far, my favorite scene of Ashley in the entire series. I quote it in my personal life.
Everyone get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! Fuck you! Get out!
Her stress is undeniably mounting as she plays with her hair nervously, and this time a little bit of it falls out, much to her visible shock. In the next episode, Ashley is seen on set yet again, this time with A-Train, as she shows him a rap video that they wrote for him, and she says the line,
Isn't it lit?
They give her these lines to demonstrate how corporations try to use lingo and other like online trends to try and relate to audiences that they're selling to, and how it usually comes out like clunky and unnatural because it's not. For this fit, she's wearing a very nice shade of royal blue for her pantsuit and a typical Peter Pan collar undershirt, this one orange with like a flower pattern. She's also wearing yellow heels and simple gold earrings. Throughout the episode, Ashley is demanding to know where Starlight is, who is AWOL, and at the end of the episode, after Homelander destroys his trailer with laser vision out of like anger for the public turning against him, we see Ashley in the back of an ambulance, clearly like a little shaken up, and when her assistant asks her if she's okay, she again demands where Starlight is. In this moment, we see that Ashley clearly prioritizes her job over her own well-being, even if she is injured. In the following episode, we see Ashley yet again as she enters Maeve's apartment looking for her. Ashley is wearing a baby pink white striped pantsuit with this pale pink ribbon Peter Pan collar undershirt with flower embroidery and pearl earrings. This is like a super ultra soft pale tone look for her, which is few and far between, we find. With a pale pink and the addition of the little bow, Ashley looks like like extremely overly feminine in this look. She looks soft and serene, even though she may be living the opposite. Is it because she's pushing for like this lesbian narrative? Is she expressing that subconsciously? Maybe she's really feeling herself, because if she's wearing a pale fit like that, she's at least feeling somewhat comfortable. So this is one of my favorite looks on her, honestly. It's just like very uniform. I really do love that delicate sort of like style. It's unusual for her, but it works. She is dismayed to find Maeve at a point of crisis, having been dumped by her love, Elena, and now in bed with like 2 dudes and vaping. Like, she's clearly in crisis mode. So Ashley doesn't think. She just launches into action, trying to formulate a plan of approach and how to reconstruct this. Maeve cuts her off. She asks Ashley, for once in her life, can she just be a fucking human being? Now, this is a very, very layered statement. Ashley is one of the very few human beings, actual human beings, left at the very center of Vought. She's as human as it gets. And yet, with all of the inadequacies and deficiencies found in these soups that she's managing behind the scenes, it's the human being, the supposed less superior version of these soups, that is the one cleaning up after them and really like tackling problems for what they are. She is a representation of the cold corporate eye that disregards emotion as a margin for error. To the entity of Vought, the 7 are not a set of people with emotions, but as a character entity for them to profit from. A horse in their race. And Ashley is no different as a face figure for Vought, always expecting these superheroes to act almost robotically as these animatronic characters they portray. Ashley spends so much time trying to imitate the correct emotions that Vought wants her to display that she's now lost the innate ability to feel true emotion and process it. Maeve's brutal question then breaks Ashley's reflexive response of a corporate entity expected to solve another problem, and then sees her as a true individual going through a true heartbreak. After this pause, this leads Ashley to say that she is genuinely sorry to Maeve, and then leaves her to her own space. Now, this is a true moment of genuine empathy that we see from Ashley in a very rare moment, and that's because she was shocked out of her regular rhythm. This is a very telling moment for Ashley's character, and we don't see her again until later on in the episode on a completely different day. She's present in the court while they determine if Soups can be in the military or not. So her outfit in this, she has this like sheer lace-like white blouse top with her signature Peter Pan collar and puffed sleeves that give her a good silhouette. She's got high-waisted like black pants on as well, and in this scene, this outfit on her is deliberate. It is, because there's a specific shot after everyone's heads start exploding from, spoilers, Victoria Newman. There's a shot of a head exploding and her being sprayed with blood. That white and black pristine outfit, especially the white, was utilized to showcase the stark red of the blood, you know? Season 2 finale, baby, all right? So we've got Ashley, and she's been left to babysit Ryan for Homelander, which obviously is an unfathomable pressure that is stressing her the hell out. Ashley is wearing a pink pantsuit with this like black Peter Pan collared undershirt, very signature, with a rainbow floral pattern on it. A very cheery look for a very uncheery woman. She is so stressed that she actively picks out her own hair in front of them, and Stormfront is like, "What happened to your hair?" And Ashley's like, "Oh, nothing." So clearly it's becoming more visible and far more severe. But if Ashley thinks that she's seen stress, then she's not ready for the next season to come. Season 3 of The Boys is basically the Met Gala for Ashley Barrett. Okay, some of her most iconic looks appear in this season, and we're about to dive into it, okay? Episode 1, we start with a bang, okay? We're at a Hollywood red carpet premiere for the new, like, Dawn of the Seven movie, it's starring Homelander. We spot Ashley on the red carpet floor wearing a gorgeous, like, tulle-based evening gown complete with 3D mesh flowers. It is a gorgeous look on her. I would give anything to try it on. But these embellishments of soft undertones of white and pink, it's magical. She's a walking fairy tale. I love her in this fucking dress, for real. On top of this, did you think that she would skimp on jewelry? You're dead wrong, okay? She's got dangly, like, gold earrings as well, including a very unique thin chain body necklace that seems to scoop down and disappear into her cleavage. Like, mother, I can't believe how good she looks, like, in this. I would give anything for, like, a Funko Pop doll of her in this outfit. I'd put it on my presidential desk. She also has on separate lace white gloves with, like, blue ornamentation, almost like a corsage, like she's going to prom. All hail Colby Minifee. Say her fucking name. However, in the middle of the red carpet event, we see Ashley in the men's restroom, I think, riding the wimpy director dude who runs all the movies as the director. And this, at the start of season 3, is the official introduction to seeing for ourselves Ashley's hedonistic, dominant, and sexually exploitative nature that we've only heard tales about in seasons past, but now we're seeing it with our own eyes. She degrades him and commands him to pull out her fucking hair as, like, a kink, which is, like, there's so much to unpack there, but he does so very reluctantly and cries, understandably. So then they both leave the bathroom separately. Ashley comes out first, greeted by Huey, who, can kind of pretty easily put 2 and 2 together. This is only the start for us to learn that Ashley's sexually dominant nature in her personal life is an outlet for control. She's great at, like, whipping a team into shape, especially on the job, but in her personal life, it seems that she's also seemingly compulsed to dominate over others in a sexual fashion. The fact that she wanted this man to very hurtfully, I assume, rip out her hair from her scalp, like in a bathroom stall, in a very exaggerated manner, demonstrates that Ashley is into some very strange kinks that she chooses to indulge in. If there's one thing for sure, Ashley is not afraid of the depraved. Later on in the same episode, we see Ashley on a different day in a completely separate look, as we are set once again on, like, some film Vought set. I would wear this in my daily life, and I would worship her if I saw her just, like, wearing that in real life. So she's wearing this, like, form-fitting pink pantsuit with 5 decorative buttons that swoop very flatteringly along, like, under this V of her undershirt. And her undershirt is a blue-based, like, paint-like brush pattern that resembles Van Gogh. And wow, 10 out of fucking 10. I can't believe how good she looks. In this scene, she stands witness and mediates between a disgusted, outraged Homelander and an overly enthusiastic, oblivious, and overly friendly Deep, whose fame has skyrocketed because of him, like, escaping some Church of the Collective or some bullshit. And Homelander has been swept under the rug by Vought right now because of his, notorious relationship with Stormfront, who was outed for being a Nazi. So at this moment, the Deep has, like, way better marketing reception than him, and he can't stand it. So Ashley sees this. She's one of the only people who truly knows how, like, explosive and unpredictable Homelander is. She gives the Deep this epic look that I am obsessed with. Later on in the same episode, we get one of the most briefest glimpses of Ashley in a whole separate fit in the entire show. So she's standing at a photo shoot in the main 7 meeting room, and she's like literally one of the only people who can sense that Homelander is a literal ticking time bomb, and this stress is reflected upon her as she stands at the side and sees the emptiness in this super freak's eyes. All that we see of this outfit in such a glimpse is a jacket that consists of yellow, orange, and red and black as sort of like an unrestricted plaid. Ashley's hair has also grown to a point of notice. If you compare from this episode to the very first, you can see that clearly she's let some of it grow out. Her bangs are a little bit looser, you know, it shows at least some kind of progress of time, if not character. In the next episode of this season, so much happens for Ashley in particular. So we are introduced in this episode to Ashley's newly hired assistant, also named Ashley. Now, I personally believe that out of all of the candidates, Ashley selected this one, probably because she really is capable and qualified, but also because her name is Ashley. Ashley subconsciously seems to be mentally separating from her past self, now associating it with this lesser Ashley and demeaning her in the way that she used to be demeaned, for an outlet of control and authority. Over time, we see how this beta Ashley begins to dress and emulate alpha Ashley over the course of the show, but at no point do they ever develop a rapport or a legitimate relationship, keeping it strictly professional. At the beginning of this scene, we see Ashley lounging on this sofa, like she owns the space, and she does. I feel like she's almost imitating Stillwell, whose office she now possesses and has made her own, and her job, which she has now taken. Our Ashley is wearing this jacket that has a blue floral metallic pattern on it with a black base, as well as a black undershirt and black form-fitting pants and pale silver heels. In this scene, Ashley is reviewing a pitch that A-Train has arranged a meeting for. He's there to present a horribly offensive video game concept called A-Train to Africa, which basically exploits the fact that he's black for his own ego and promotional gain. Ashley is horrified by the presentation, showing off her authentic moral code that she often has to brush aside for her job, but she recognizes it for how shitty it is, and she very quiet, she tries to placate him and sort of brushes him aside, we'll talk about let's put a pin in this, let's talk about this later. Later in the same episode, we see Ashley again, this time on an outdoor film set with news coverage on a woman on top of a building about to commit self-unaliving. It's uncertain if this is a prearranged stunt or not, but all of the cameras are set to capture Homelander saving this woman. But in real time, we watch as Ashley receives an alert before everyone else that something terrible has happened. It is then revealed in front of everyone that Homelander's ex, Stormfront, has ironically just committed self-unaliving, and with the extra insult of doing it on Homelander's birthday. Ashley realizes how badly this is about to go, and she tries to intervene, but it's too late. Lashing out, Homelander then throws the woman off of the building and murdering her in front of everyone. There is a comedic shot of Ashley panning down the camera from view. Now, this shot in particular has perfect composition. This is the same day. How do we know? Ashley's wearing the same outfit, but she is thrown over a long, white, luxurious overcoat. In this shot of the blood spraying up yet again, not an accident. In the last time we saw this, she was wearing white. Again, she is wearing white. So along with the overcast sky, the white-based buildings, and Ashley's fit, the other Ashley, Altogether, it pulls into an epic shot that highlights the red of the blood. This is all purposeful. Like, people thought through this exact shot. I'm almost certain of it. So we know that it's the same day because of the outfit underneath, but this white overcoat was also selected carefully. Towards the end of the episode, same day, same outfit, Ashley has had a very long day. She is now found behind the scenes in the camera room about to film Homelander's birthday special. She is then horrified to see A-Train strut out on stage wearing his new clown suit, therefore debuting it without permission. Now, this is a marketing disaster, and she lets everyone know.
Get me fucking wardrobe so I can fucking choke them out.
Luckily, Homelander gets in a stray on her behalf.
I can see you girded, you disgusting fat f***. Get off the fucking stage.
But not too long after, Homelander snaps live on air as he begins a crazy rant in which he commands Ashley not to cut away. Helpless, she is left frozen in shock as she begins to play with her hair nervously. This entire day has been nothing short of a complete disaster for her. But in the next episode, we see the opposite reaction for Ashley, for once, as we see her parade around in one of the most defining looks of the series. She looks like a fucking disco ball, running amok around Vought campus, clearly in excitement about some piece of news that she's privy to, very unsuccessfully running in heels, which is funny to watch. Clearly, Ashley is not afraid in this outfit. She's almost subconsciously asking to stand out, and we'll come to understand why. We see eventually that Ashley was hurrying towards Homelander's personal office, where she barges in without knocking to find Homelander butt-ass naked on the couch. With that said, Homelander never takes off his suit. The fact that he has it off in this moment shows that he is at his most vulnerable. He's always clinging to this carefully crafted public persona that Vought has made for him, and the fact that he is now stripped away has now left him with nothing. And he doesn't even flinch when Ashley runs in. In fact, he stops her before she runs out of protocol, to ask her about what news she's bringing. Well, she has rushed across campus to tell him that against all odds, the people have spoken. His numbers are up. People loved his speech, claiming his own power and his own identity. Basically, like, alluding to, the T-word cult. This is reinforced by Ashley telling him that audiences for white males between middle age have skyrocketed for him, therefore he is uncancelled. Ashley seems fully confident in delivering this news to Homelander, knowing that it will make him very happy. So she seems to have dressed for the occasion of receiving positive feedback from Homelander, which she so richly deserves. Homelander is so excited from this news that he gets a raging hard-on, in which Ashley seems both repulsed and magnetized toward. This sort of showcases her sexual enthusiasm and nymphomania, which shows through in the end. Same day, same outfit, Ashley is seen at a board meeting with Starlight present, discussing the two finalists for this Soup X Factor show that they're doing. And Starlight advocates for the Muslim Soup wearing a hijab, which Ashley immediately shuts down, not because she disagrees, but because she knows that Homelander will be outraged by that. Later that day, we see Ashley mediating between Starlight and Homelander in a discussion about bringing the Deep back on the Seven. And then later still, we see Ashley yet again at a exclusive dinner table with her, Homelander, the Deep, and the Deep's wife. And in an act of cruelty, Homelander then serves seafood to the Deep in an act of intimidation before he re-enters the Seven. Ashley, for all accounts, seems generally oblivious to this. Mostly, she probably just doesn't care. In the next episode, presumably the same day, because she's wearing the same outfit, people, that's what I'm telling you! Her fashion establishes the timeline, almost like single-handedly. She's approached by A-Train on, yet again, another film set, in which he is bitching to her about the fact that Vought, as an entity, isn't doing anything about Blue Hawk's brutalization towards the black community in which he patrols. And Ashley thinks that he's joking at first because she knows what kind of person he is, and she's like, oh, you're serious? And then she puts on some kind of front that has programmed into herself how his whole rebrand is great, just being very fake, just doing anything to dismiss him. So power to Ashley, because she doesn't deal with A-Train's bullshit, and it'll come to a head very shortly. Later on in the same episode, Ashley is seen in the background of supposedly a different day because of a new outfit. She's wearing a cerulean blue pantsuit.
It's actually cerulean.
With a tasteful black button pattern and a lacy brown undershirt, which I love. In this meeting, they're welcoming Supersonic, I guess, the new member of the Seven, supposedly. Her jewelry is not ostentatious, they're just simple, white studs. So this look is back to norm for her. She's no longer a disco ball, that was a moment for her. This is her regular everyday wear with bright pops of color. It's clearly a partiality for Ashley's style. After the meeting, Ashley approaches Homelander with very nervous body language to tell him that Victoria Newman is throwing a press conference against him and Soups being in the military tonight. In response to this, Homelander then asks Ashley very directly a question of pure disdain.
Is your idiot brain getting f***ed by stupid? It's not rhetorical. Answer me.
This is a power move. By not acknowledging anything that she said, no preface, just disdain. He's cornered her by requiring a response and already setting her up for being insulted and belittled in such a blunt manner. Ashley helplessly replies that no, it is not, and then he doesn't even wait for her answer, really. He just says, well, then go do your only job. Ashley then runs away in fear. Now, this experience greatly impacts Ashley's psyche. She has recently experienced a period of grace in which Homelander was canceled, and therefore didn't really have much authority over her, and now Homelander is back and worse than ever. Being such a dominant person in her personal life, Ashley trembling in the presence of Homelander really demonstrates his power. If there's one thing that Ashley truly recognizes, it's power. She knows how to wield it upon those below her and knows how to emulate it from those above her. It's one thing to have an intimidating superior at your work, but it's another thing entirely to have a godlike tyrant that will end your life upon a whim instead of firing you. After Ashley seems to have done her job by arranging a secret deal between Victoria Newman and Homelander, she is seen in her extravagant office sitting at her desk. And it's important to note that the 7 huge Greek god-like column statues of the 7 behind her give the impression of her being constantly watched by them, but also the fact that she has them behind her, like she can dispatch them like artillery. She is sitting at her desk across from Cameron, the Vought news anchor, and in this scene, we see a very transactional relationship development. Cameron discusses how his previous talking points were very, very bad and how they were written by him, and Ashley then repeats the same line that Homelander inflicted upon her to then someone below her.
Is your idiot brain getting f***ed by stupid? No, that's not rhetorical. Answer me.
This shows a transactional utilization of power. Ashley clearly seems to learn from those who have power over her in order to inflict the same tactics on those under her in order to eventually assimilate into one of those higher standpoints. As it turns out, Ashley and Homelander have the same trait of enjoying dominating over others. Cameron then responds, "Well, what if I said yes?" And to her satisfaction, she says, "Then I would have to punish you." At first, Cameron is genuinely confused. But then Ashley reveals that she has a plethora of sex toys at her disposal, therefore initiating this sort of sexual relationship. Cameron then very willfully submits to this proposition of a dom-sub relationship. We've seen a similar history with the director at Vought, demonstrating that she seems to sexually dominate all those men underneath her in order to keep them in line and at her disposal. Being herself such a dominant person around others, this truly demonstrates how Ashley really feels about Homelander, trembling and terrified in his presence. If there's one thing that Ashley Barrett understands, it's power. Ashley learned from Homelander's words towards her earlier, and then in turn repeated it directly to an underling, and this actually sparked a dom-sub relationship in her life, in this form of dominance that she's now replicating from those above her. Funnily enough, this is comparable to Stillwell in her mommy complex over Homelander, and her seductive sort of style almost, like she was appealing to those sexual tendencies. Ashley does it in a far more forceful way, far less subtle. Now, nearly halfway through season 3, Ashley has made a remarkable journey through the corporate minefield that is Vought International, dominating at her job, in the bedroom, and on the runway, with a remarkable discography of highly coordinated looks. Now, there is so much to unpack here, including a closet full of unfathomable fits for us to dissect. But her influence on the show isn't even close to being done. But now we've reached a threshold that separates the Ashley from who we know now to the ultimate achievement. With the removal of Stan Edgar in the next episode, this paves the way for our Ashley to make it as CEO of Vought International. Now, there is so much to unpack there, including a closet full of unfathomable fits to dissect. But we can unpack her newfound challenge of becoming CEO and beyond in the following Part 2 video I will be publishing on this channel. If you enjoyed this Part 1 installment and want to hear me rambling like a madman more in the future, feel free to smash that subscribe button so you'll hear about me posting things in the future. You can poke that like button if you like what you saw. If you want exclusive access to my videos, including Part 2 of this subject, feel free to check out my Patreon, linked in the description, and you'll also get a quick shout out once it's posted. I had such a delightful time unpacking all of this for you guys. Thank you for coming to my talk if you made it this far, and this is Maeve the Human, your favorite mortal reporter. Until next time, get your ass back here for Part 2 or you're fired!